In terms of men increasing the size of their hardware,
I get asked that all the time.
How common is that, and what are the forms that you see it taking at this point?
Bro, I don't know. I think we're close in this day and age. I think we're close to, doctors coming up with something that'll increase your size, But I know back in the day when I would read, like, whether it was Playboy or Hustler or Penthouse, and they would have these editorials about increasing your size, taking a shoelace and tying it tight around your dick and stretching it, crazy shit like that.
Carrying, tying a padlock to it and just letting it hang all day.
Letting it hang,
I used to hear about that.
Right, same here.
It kind of makes sense to me.
It does. I tried it. Bro, I used to do that shit. So then some people would go, so then obviously it worked for you, right? And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't say, I don't know if there is a way to naturally do it.
But you hear about the injecting of, like, silicone shit or goop or whatever the fuck it might be. Do you think that's pretty common?
I don't know. I don't know. But dude, I think we are close to getting to a point of where it will be common, I think we're close where, like I said, they're going to come up with some method for guys to just increase their shit. And I think it's just going to add a whole new level to what's going on right now. So, and I think we're close to that. But as far as like right now, I don't think that, and people ask me every day, how did you do it?
So they think that you just did a really great job at managing the size of yours somehow.
For sure.
Editing it.
In fact, I'll even go one further. There are people that speculate that what I did in my time off was you know where I'm going. We know what he did when he took that time off. He went and got his dick redone. And I'm like, yo, think about what you're saying right now.
Because that surgery where it's supposed to, like, pull it out of your body is only supposed to add like 1.5 inches or something.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, I've always, from when I got in the game, that's why I was in the game, because of my size. You know what I mean? There was nothing. And then it's funny because, every guy's dick is different. Some guy's dick is straight ahead, some guy's hooked to the left or whatever. And I got a distinct curve that, in my mind, I'm like, yo, if I was ever to go that route of getting a surgery, I would have the straightest point, you know what I'm saying? Like, my shit would be the perfect dick. And so I'm like, to think that this is something, I'm like, I'd want my money back if this is what I paid for to get some shit.
But to think that there might one day be a surgery to remove a curve from your dick is kind of mind-blowing.
I've had a few guys actually hit me up going, man, they have this procedure.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what he said there was a name for it,
Wow.
Yeah. And I said, nah, man. I've been rolling with this my whole life. I'm not going to change anything up. This is how I'm going out, you know? So, but I think we are close to a point where that's going to become more common.
Right. So you're how old now?
Dude, believe it or not, I turned 50 not too long ago.
Wow. And so I feel like a lot of the greats have kind of guided themselves out of the game by 50.
Right.
Do you still feel like you're in your prime? Do you feel like there's maybe a time? Because people ask me all the time at 38.
Right.
And I'm kind of like, shit, maybe I'll be done by 45. But when I think about it, it's like, well, if I could still do this at 38, I don't know why I would stop at 45.
No, you'll be able to do it. And because, you'll be able to do it because, you know what, man? It's like I equate what we do, like you were bringing it up earlier, to what athletes, pro athletes do. You're trained to do it, and yeah, pro athletes, a lot of them retire in their 30s or whatever. But depending on what sport, you can, as long as your body's good and as long as you still have that drive, you're good, man.
Right.
I mean, I think I'm proof. Like, I got a lot of older fans that hit me up and they're like, man, we're vicariously living through you, man, because you're an older guy who's still putting it down. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, that shit makes me feel good when they say that. And to be honest with you, I feel like now at this stage of the game, I'm doing my best fucking, because when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, I really had a mindset of me, what makes me feel good? What's going to get me off, I'm going to fuck her in the ass. That's going to make my day. You know what I mean? So now that I'm older, I have more of a mindset of, what makes her feel good. You know what I mean? And together, can we get to that place where it's a mutual fucking thing? And that just came with time for me. So you know, I'm 50 now, but I feel like I could do this easily for like another 10 years, man.
And I find that extremely inspiring.
Yeah.
If there was any justice in the world, you would be having this conversation with Oprah and not me, because this is a very inspirational tale.
Yeah. No. To all you older guys out there, don't think that there's a time limit or there's an expiration date. If your fuck game is good, and it's, again, health is a huge key. That's why health is wealth, man. You know, take care of yourself, eat good, get that exercise in, try and stay in shape, and you'll be fucking.
Okay, so this reminds me of like kind of an eye-opening experience I had when I was a bit younger, and I think that thing you're saying about like being selfish and having to just be all about you, that's a very, very common thing for guys when they're young, especially if you're really sexually motivated. Chances are, and I see this with a lot of like younger dudes on podcasts and stuff, that they're very motivated to fuck a lot of girls, and they're not really thinking about really enjoying it or really taking their time or making the girl enjoy it or whatever. And like there was this one girl that I used to know back in Austin back in the day, and I fuck her. It was about 5 minutes in the sleeping bag in the dark.
Gotcha.
You know, got it in real quick, fucking passed out, whatever. Didn't think about it too much afterwards. But then a friend of mine goes to the bar and he sees her and he texts me and he goes, "Hey, that girl that you were telling me you fucked, she's at this bar." And I text her and I say, "Hey, my boy is at the bar. Can you bang him tonight?" And she says, okay, because she takes a look at him, she likes him, whatever. He told me that he proceeded to spend the next 3 days in his house doing coke with her and fucking.
Wow.
And that really made me feel like, damn, like you got a lot more enjoyment out of this experience than I did. I really took it for granted and just sort of speed ran through it. And that's not, you know, if you go to the Grand Canyon, what are you gonna just fucking drive by it and be like, whatever? No, you're gonna stand and behold its beauty and its majesty and take it all in.
Soak it all in.
That is what life is about. And if you're speed running pussy, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, no, that well said. And so no, for real, man. And so true. I mean, I think that's the key.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.